Great job lately. Everything seems to be going smoothly. I mean, you looking better and better on the court. And I love the way you handling yourself off the court.
Ready for action are the Bucks. Welcome everyone to the Bradley Center. We're in downtown Milwaukee, the home of the Bucks, where we'll be broadcasting today's live action. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. On the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. Hey guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Larry Sanders?
Well, the one thing that you have to have in basketball is big men who can protect the rim, and that's what Sanders does. He's willing to go up and block shots, really patrol the paint, and protect that rim area.
Yeah, you know, but there's nothing easy in the lane when Sanders is on the floor. Always have to be looking over your shoulder if you plan on putting up a shot with him around. You look at the Cavaliers, and at sixth place in the East, they're a team that's not quite in that top tier, but when they put it together, watch out.
You know, I think for the Cavaliers, they put it all together this season, vaulting solidly into the playoff picture as the regular season winds down. And that makes them dangerous, as we all know.
And for a team that's made so much progress, it's important to make a dent come playoff time. They're not going to be satisfied just getting there. I mean, they want to do some damage once they take part in the playoffs.
Well, I think Larry Sanders is one of the most improved players in the league, guys. I don't know where you stand on it, but, you know, he led the league in ejections, too, with 5. He's got to control and manage his emotions a little better.
Now, here is Irving. 6 to shoot. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Cleveland on defense. Back to Sanders, who said he's taking steps to keep his composure, not getting to other players and feel the wrath of officials. Those technicals are piling up.
Well, Kevin, he's already made some nice strides in his approach to the game, just eating right, getting to the gym early. You know, you really have to learn how to become a professional, and I think Sanders has made that next step.
Milwaukee with the ball. After the miss by Luol Deng. Shot by Mayo is no good. So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against Detroit.
And their energy level at the defensive end was fantastic in that game, guys. They made finding an open shot very difficult in half-court situations.
And I thought, Steve, they excelled in transition defense as well. The energy level you talked about was obvious in that part of the game, too.
That's his first personal foul, second team foul.
Leaps for it, and it's out of bounds to the Bucks as Milwaukee retains possession. Cavaliers on D. The shot's good from the closer.
And they'd love to have a few more easy baskets like that to kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Mike Brown. What's the news there, Doris?
Gentlemen, he's looking for them to come in and tie the season series at 2 games apiece, and he wants their big men to be that front line in both senses of the phrase. He said, we know they can provide a big-time presence inside, shot blocking and everything else. I think the rest of our guys feed off of that. Kevin will see if their front court can give them the boost they're looking for.
Doris, thank you. It'll be interesting to see how that defensive mindset serves them here in the first half.
Yeah, it will be, Kevin, because if they come out with the right frame of mind and they don't have much success early, you know, the game plan's going to have to change in a big hurry.
And even so, Steve, I think the defensive approach Doris talked about is exactly the one they should employ. 4 straight makes out of the gate, That's a sweet start.
The pass to Mayo. Stolen by Waiters. Bennett with it. He's against Sanders. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Anthony Bennett, 6'8", 240 out of UNLV. Incredibly explosive and athletic. A multifaceted scorer. Shot 38% from long range with the Runnin' Rebels in his 1 season in college, but also an excellent finisher in the paint.
Savage. That's the way to get some momentum on yourself.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
He kicks it to Hawes. Irving for 3. A rebound by Delfino. And for Bennett Clark, he's a guy teams could slot in at either the small forward or I guess even the power forward position.
Well, you consider the wingspan. 7'1", allows him to play bigger than his height would suggest. And I've always said it's not how tall you are, it's how big do you play.
Right.
And his skill set allows him to play on the perimeter, too.
And so it's Cleveland with it. And it's Irving missing.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Mayo, and that's for 2. Milwaukee the rebound. To the closer. Lets it go with the 3. And it's O.J. Mayo with the 3. Mayo's got 6.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Outside Irving. Left side Irving. Hawes. Good, and the assist goes to Irving.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
Yeah, me too, Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball inside, you got to continue to go to the well.
The closer passes to Delfino. That's good.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
And Waiters kicks to Bennett. Puts it up from 7. Rejected by Ilyasova. Mayo left side. No good off the back of the rim. So the Bucks, their last game, a win against the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Larry Drew's huddle. He emphasized the need to set good, hard screens at the offensive end. He said the pick-and-roll opportunities are going to be there for them as long as they time those screens correctly. It's still very early in this game, so there's plenty of time for those changes to take effect, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's G. He's coming off a 10-point game against Detroit. Felix. It's rebounded by Udo.
Nice early advantage for them on the glass, guys.
You know, part of rebounding well early is just going after the ball and boxing out. I mean, establishing that tone so that you can maintain it later in the game.
Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Jack dishes to Bennett. Jack passes to Hawes. Ilyasova comes up with the rebound.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, they've got Jared Jack. Bennett is out there with Dang. Then there's Spencer Hawes. And it's Waiters in at the 2-guard.
And, you know, out of Turkey, Ersan Ilyasova, an interesting combination of talents. I mean, he's one of the more intriguing guys in the league when you watch him closely. He's not the biggest or the burliest, but he's got a toughness about him that shows itself on the offensive glass. He's also a really good outside shooter, able to play that spread 4 role.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Here's Sanders. Good. And the Bucks lead by 4.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
That shot's good from Hawes.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys. And it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
And Clark, you mentioned Ilyasova. He had that breakthrough season in 2011 and 12, and after the early slump, continued to deliver Steve last year.
Well, he's a great combination of being an outside shooter but having interior toughness. And I think he defines kind of the modern-day hybrid four. He's a power forward who can guard multiple positions on the perimeter.
The closer passes to Mayo, and that one's good. Sanders has got the lead, back up to 5 now for the Bucks.
Boy, it's no wonder they've got the lead. Their shooting has really picked up here in the second quarter.
You know, you don't expect the team, Steve, to shoot in the 60% range the entire game. But if they can hover around that mark, then they'll run away with this one.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Miles is checked in. Milwaukee leading by 5. Ilyasova is screen on Irving. Feeds it to Ilyasova. And it's blocked by Bennett. But they get it back. And that is good. Delfino's got 7 points in the game.
Well, Delfino's a good player, Kevin. He's not somebody you think of when you think, oh, you know, can he take over a game?
So it's the Cavaliers now. And Jack kicks to G. Thompson with it, moves up against Pachulia. And Jack, here we go, connects on the foul line jumper. 6 points for him.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
The closer goes back up. And it lands. They get one to fall. The closer's got the lead up to 9 now for Milwaukee. And the foul on the closer. That will be foul number 5 on him. Dishes it to G. Inside, Dellavedova laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needs to be.
And so that's the end of it.
Kevin, I've got Mike Brown.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
So good to have you along on 2K Sports as the season.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
He went off in the first 2 quarters, guys, as he's capable of doing. We might see some changes here in the defensive approach they use on him in the second half.
Yeah, they've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him like he has been.
Ilyasova and Sanders in the middle. Mayo and Delfino are the wings. And it's the closer in at the point guard position. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, the closer in the last outing against the Pacers was just a man on a mission. He dropped a cool 33 points and was in the zone as a shooter, lighting it up from both the foul line and the field. Numbers like that make you anxious to see what he can do next time out.
Great, Doris. Thanks. Any chance we see him top that performance at Clark here tonight?
I'd say no chance, partner. That's not enough.
And so the Bucks take the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.